Close here, trip to Mansfield Town this weekend, then a nice local derby. After 3 weeks without a game, the boys must be right up for this one.
Yeah, absolutely. The boys are right up for it. It feels like a long time since we played a game of football, and I think you can see from training this morning, everyone's looking forward to it and everyone's ready physically.
How frustrating has it been not to really be able to build on good performances at the back end of 2022, and then you start at 2023 with a win against Carlisle and then, albeit in defeat, a good performance at Orient? Since then you've barely kicked a ball in anger competitively.
It has been frustrating, yeah. I think when you're performing well, all you want to do is play games, and we've had obviously 2 or 3 games called off, which is frustrating, but it's part of the game. So yeah, as players we had to keep professional, make sure we train well, do everything we can to give us the best chance of being physically ready for the next game, and that's this week. And yeah, like I said, I think the boys are ready.
Shown good signs under Danny Schofield, albeit a couple of bumps in the road here and there, but do you feel like this 3 weeks could prove to be key towards the back end of the season in getting more messages across and making sure that everybody is on the same page?
Yeah, I think it has been a good chance for that, and I think as a squad we are definitely taking on board what he's trying to put across. I think that's evident in training. I think you can see lads learning and really trying to implement those ideas, and now it's down to us to take that into games and be more consistent with results. Performances I thought were improving. Obviously we had a few weeks now without a game, but it's down to us now as boys and as a full squad, not just the starting 11, to go and be more consistent.
How are you finding it at the minute? I think it's more appearances already this season than you had in the whole of last. That must be a real box ticked for you, when you look at that. The amount of consistency you've been able to get in your game must be really good.
It has been, yeah. I've thoroughly enjoyed this season. Obviously before the last couple of weeks without a game, I've been playing most weeks, feeling physically good. I'm really enjoying working with this manager. So yeah, thoroughly enjoyed it, and for me now it's about obviously winning, and yeah, I want to be more consistent. I want the results to be more consistent, and I want us to start flying up the league.
It's been you and Biggo, hasn't it, in that central midfield role for the main since Danny came in. How have you found that partnership developing?
Really enjoyed playing with Biggo. Me and him get on really well off the pitch, and that helps us on the pitch. I think it's always nice to play with someone who you get on with off the pitch, and on the pitch I think we complement each other. He's a real honest lad, and he gives us all, and yeah, I thoroughly enjoy working with him, and it's been good seeing him improve over the last few months as well.
How important is that position in the pitch in having relationships like you have? Because a lot of the time you'll see a game of football that's tight. For example, on Saturday, probably not an awful lot between the two teams. If you can win that midfield battle, you go a long way to winning the game.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's like you said. There's relationships all over the pitch, and that's quite a big one in midfield. You're obviously pretty close to each other all the time, but I think we're more than that this year. I think our aim is to be a really organised, structured team with strong connection and strong relationships all over the pitch. But yeah, absolutely, it helps to have that centre midfield right on it.
You got your first goal towards the back end of 2022, coincidentally on your 33rd Rovers appearance, wearing the 33. How nice a moment was that for you?
Yeah, it was great. It's been a long time coming. Obviously, I didn't think it would take a year and a half, but better late than never. And for me now, it's about scoring more. And yeah, I've got a number in my head that I want to reach by the end of the season. And yeah, it's just down to me to go and do it now.
Mansfield, the next test then. They didn't have a game last weekend either. Were due to play Northampton. That got called off. What are you expecting from them? There's not a lot, is there, that separates the two teams in the table?
I think Mansfield are always a strong team. They've got a really good squad, lots of depth. So whoever plays, it's going to be a tough game. And I think from the game earlier on the season at the Eco Power, you could see their strength, and we know what they're about. We've seen the clips. We've played against the players and manager plenty of times in our careers, and yeah, we know it's going to be an incredibly tough game.
They're an experienced side, aren't they? At this level, reached the playoff final last season, and just sort of teetering around that top 7 at the moment, as Rovers are. Even with a couple of games postponed, still less than a handful of points off the playoffs.
Yeah, we expect them to be up there at the end of the season as well. So these games are massive. We can really see where we're at, and obviously the result is massive as well, because if you start beating teams in and around this position in the league, then you're going to creep into the playoffs, and that's our aim, obviously.
1,700 Rovers fans making the trip on Saturday. That's got to be the best game you could hope for, really, isn't it? To be going backed by so many travelling supporters.
Yeah, football is always better when you're playing in front of big atmospheres and big crowds, and to have 1,700 away supporters, you don't come across that every week. So we've got to really enjoy it, embrace it, and use it as motivation to put in a really good performance and get a good result, not only for ourselves but for the fans that travel and support us as well.
If you can use it as a mini pre-season, I suppose, the last 3 weeks, can't you? And really, this weekend kick-starts the second half of the campaign, doesn't it? What would 3 points do you feel, for belief in the camp?
It'll be massive, yeah. I think any game is we're aiming for 3 points, and but I think because of the break, you feel like you haven't played in ages. If you don't quite get the result you want, you probably feel like you haven't picked up points for a long time. But that obviously won't be the case because of cancellations. But yeah, the aim is to go and win, and there's no better way to do it in front of a massive travelling support.